Whew. Hello, interwebs. Let me point this air at myself. Holy mother. Holy mother of heat. That is one hell of a workout. Now, is anybody hearing me? That's what I want to know. I'm trying something new here with my headphones. See if that works. Wow. Oh my gosh. Oh, Jonathan. Yes. I'm trying, buddy. I'm trying. Can you hear me? I've got my headphones on today. See if that's working or not. My wireless headphones. Uh, how many minutes? 24 minutes. Good evening, David. How are you? I'm very good, thank you. Yes, I hear you. Good. Is the sound quality okay? Because I'm using my new cheap in-ear headphones, and I'm hoping they're going to work. Oh, good, Rebel Time Lady. It works for you. As long as it works for you, Rebel Time Lady, then everybody's happy. Yes, smashing another workout, Chaos Survivor. That's exactly how I look at it. Paranoid Badger. I freaking love that name. What about a paranoid hedgehog? I think that's where I'll go. It is audible, coming through loud and clear, adequate sound. Quality isn't the best, but manageable. Well, I can see about plugging in the old thing, but I just couldn't find it. So I thought I would try using this instead. We're just going to have to. I can't talk for long today, anyways, because my fabulous wife will be returning from Cannes any moment now. And then I will immediately drop you like hot potatoes and go and see her. 24-minute workout today. 24 minutes again. Lower lower resistance down at 4 again. So not a particularly difficult workout, but a workout nonetheless. And I've sort of got that weird feeling of like I feel like if I don't do it, somehow I'm not going to do it again. Like I'm going to somehow stop. Um, Sounds like the THX sound. Do you want me to turn off this fan? It's just keeping me cool. Let's see what happens here. There we go. See if that's any better. I have. I actually have an AC going in here, if you can believe it. I found an old AC out for the trash, and it only needed a new power cable. So I desoldered it and put on a new power cable, and now I have a little AC in my lair. I just want to say hi. My first time catching your live stream, Scott Mack. Well, welcome. This is it. A long, sweaty chat with that Stargate guy. Hi, David. Long time no see. Giovanna Erarena. Good to see you again. I'm sorry it's been such a long time. I have started these again, partially, well, in large part because of people in Basingstoke and online saying, "Hey, what happened to your Burn&Learns? I miss those." And frankly, my body misses them as well. So, well, my body doesn't miss them. I don't miss the torture in any way, shape, or form. I just need the torture. I need a little torture in my life. Still in the garage, yes. Well, I've been able to move back out here because it's actually it's been warm enough. Now it's getting a bit too warm. Like I said, I got this AC thing going as well. I'm so jealous. We usually don't have ACs in Germany. Yeah, well, this is it. I like for some reason this neighborhood people throw the weirdest stuff out, and this was an AC unit. They said, "Oh, it's not working. The plug doesn't work." And I was like, "Okay, well, if you don't want it," and I took it. I wheeled the thing home. I stuck a couple of googly eyes on it, and wired a cable onto it, and it works amazingly. And my wife thinks I'm funny because I picked through trash. But, it's like people say, where is he now? Hey, there he is right now. That Stargate guy. He's out picking through my garbage. Learn. What did I learn in my Burn&Learn today? Well, I'm continuing to listen to this great courses series on genetics and DNA, and learning all about cell division and DNA. The first couple of chapters, I've actually listened to this before, or part of this before, and it sort of defaulted to this after I finished my Song of the Cell book yesterday, and so I sort of kept going with it. It's just a really great introduction to this stuff. It is sort of designed, I think, as an introductory course to biology, and this is like the third or fourth biology thing that I've taken now. I just can't retain it because I'm not using biology on a daily basis, and so well, also my brain is mush, but I just like to listen to it, and it just reminds me of the cool things that happen. I thought one of the neat things, that I learned this time around was that we all start as women. I mean, how weird is that? That, because of our chromosomes, basically when we start out as a little blastocyst or whatever it's called, a little fetus. We're basically all start off as a female and then just sort of genetically add bits from there as necessary. Upcycling is admirable, David. There would have been trash for no. Yeah, exactly. That's what I figured. Like why let it out? It's so bad. No one fixes anything anymore. Just buys a new one and throws the broken one out. Hey, Giovanna, I love it because I'm the one who goes and picks it up and then fixes it. I think there are people who do this. There are a lot of people. I see a lot of them on YouTube and stuff. In fact, I often end up on YouTube fixing stuff. Like, for example, last year, my big AC went, like the big outdoor AC unit went, and I was like, oh my God. And I looked into getting someone out here, and the guy that I liked, I just couldn't get in touch with because, of course, they're the worst, the worst communicators ever. Like anyone in the construction industry, construction or HVAC, it seems to be impossible to get a hold of when you really need them. So I hopped onto YouTube and watched a whole video on troubleshooting and went through it all and electrocuted myself only once or twice. Literally welded a pair of pliers to a screwdriver, but got that fixed as well. So it just feels so good until the house burns down. But then, I did that with the sump pump a number of years ago. Also, wow, never thought of the nipple thing. What? What nipple thing? What are we talking about? What? To be fair, manufacturers often make a lot of things not worth fixing due to quality. What is going on? Uh, yes, my base. Yes, chromosomes turn on the male parts later. It's why everyone has nipples. Well, yeah, that's it. But the basically it's not our genes that make us look physically female or male. It's the hormones that do that, right? So I'd be really curious to see how this relates to trans people and people who are feel that they're not the sex that they should be and stuff. I'd be really curious to know if there's a genetic or a hormonal aspect to this that can be looked at. They don't even make things last anymore. Just look at phones, for example. They last as long as the warranty lasts. Yeah. Well, yes, and I feel that part of the people not repairing things is exactly that. It's like these companies have made things more and more difficult to fix. Basically, I mean the Apple has gone out of its way to make it impossible to fix stuff, and then when they were ordered to actually allow people to fix that right to repair thing, they made that complicated by you have to order a special kit that you can use to replace your screen with a special device, but you can only have it for 24 hours or 48 hours, and it costs X amount of dollars, and like they've sort of like they've conformed in a kind of a like in a vengeful and shoddy way. So Apple does not like people taking their stuff apart and fixing it or looking at it, even for that matter. They never have. They've never been a fan of that stuff. I've always been a big fan of open source. It's one of the reasons why I like Prusa so much. Is Prusa is just based on an open source system. Which I know eventually will, a lot of these companies will need to change as they go along. But basically, Prusa, you can build a Prusa without actually buying a Prusa, and all the parts are 3D printed anyways. So it's one of the things I like about the whole open source stuff is that right to repair. Yes, we need that. I think the right to repair just makes sense. I don't understand anything other than that, to be honest. Hey, David, but I think that's one of the problems I think you'll see is that. And that is why I think a lot of kids have this black box mentality where it's like, oh, it's broken, so we get a new one. Because I think that's the way these companies want us to operate. Absolutely, if you want to get into conspiracy theories, you could say, well, maybe the reason why kids don't know about taking things apart is because it's not something that gets shared a lot, thanks to these companies that want to sell more new great phones. You know what I mean? So, and I'm a sucker too. I'm an early adopter. I buy stuff way too right away all the time. Anyways, although I am backing off on a lot of stuff now. I don't buy first generation Mac stuff, Apple stuff anymore because there's just too many bugs to figure out. So, anyways, hello, David. I was at Basingstoke Comic Con. It was an honor to meet you. Most of my childhood heroes in one place. Great day. Oh, Priest of Forgotten Gods. That is good to hear. I'm glad it was not too hot and sweaty and miserable. As you can see, I obviously operate very well in hot, sweaty, and miserable because this is my post-exercise look. And my wife and family are still wondering why I do this. And I think maybe I debate it myself when I sometimes catch myself in my own phone and see how sweaty, old, and miserable I look. But it works for me. And this is my reward for doing 24 minutes on the torture device, which again is hidden back there, looking good. So I'm rounding up some kids to help out with building my Prusas. It may just be one kid at the end of the day, but I'm looking at that, and I'm also looking into doing like a kind of an impromptu, unofficial kind of tech bandits camp this year. I thought I would see if there's anyone who's interested in coming and doing some escape room related stuff with me and the U of T people, because I think it'd be good to have some younger kids in there trying stuff out as well as just the fourth year students and stuff. Actually, I'm not sure if they're all fourth year students or what the deal is with these guys now, but I'll find out about that probably next week. Yeah, so as I say, I've got my fabulous wife coming home, which I'm really excited about. It's always nice to have a bit of time alone when you get to sort of just make a mess of the house and lounge around like a teenager, with my teenager for that matter, and order lots of food and stuff. And then after about 24 hours, I just would like my wife back, please, because she's just like one of my favorite people to have around. So I'm looking forward to having her come back. We've got the kids got to go to soccer today, so I got to go take them to soccer or football, as I should be saying here in the. Well, do you say? I guess you say soccer in Canada, don't you? But the reality is, you play it with your feet. All right. What else we got? John Deere products. Yes, John Deere, again, apparently really bad at that. And in fact, I was looking at a John Deere tractor, a 6300 or something. It was a compact tractor, because my dream is a pig and a tractor, right? Just to be very clear, that's like, in the future for me, when I go and live in Warwickshire, hopefully in the next 3 or 4 years, I will have a little compact tractor, maybe a digger on the front because I like the idea of digging ditches and stuff. I will have a pig who I will probably call tractor, and maybe a shotgun. I don't know why a shotgun, but I'm thinking alpaca, maybe an alpaca too. My poor wife. It's going to be like living with Dr. Doolittle. You wait. All right, what else we got here? I've paused the chat, it seems, by accident. Okay, yes, it was lovely despite all the issues there. Meeting David and the others was great. Oh, I'm so glad. Soma Broofed. Happy that worked out. Not AC, but I followed a YouTube vid on repairing and replacing the heat sink. Oh, yeah, on the PS3 when they came out, and suffered like the Xbox. I should have grounded it. I got a good shock, but learned from it. Hey, whoa, Jesus, sorry. Sorry, it's an adventure streaming with me. I don't have my phone. What's my phone grip thing? I don't have it. Anyways, so I'll try not to knock it off. Done it again. Did I just stop it? No, okay. Yeah, grounding's a good idea. Jane finished another rewatch of Atlantis yesterday. Another one. I'm glad to see your face again. Feels like it's been a lifetime. Oh my God, Jane. Well, it's lovely to see you too. Although I can't see you, I can just see your little profile picture. It's very, very small. Someone Proof says, "Who was in the Sunday meetup? If anyone was here, who was in the Sunday meetup? If anyone here, I wonder what Sunday meetup it was." So taking the live in the middle. And about taking the live in the middle and about courses, I can recommend MIT Open Courseware. It's accessible worldwide, covers a wide variety of subjects, including open amphitheater courses. Oh, wow. Okay. All right. So definitely check that out. All right. So recommend MIT Open Courseware. I will check that out for sure, Alvin. Thank you very much. That sounds amazing. I used to repair my own Walkman when I was a kid, but buying old ones at garage sales, LOL, I miss those days. Yeah. I used to love that. Yeah, the Walkmans were hard to repair because of the plastic. I just found the plastic pieces were so easy to break. I'm so glad you're live so often right now. I need this late evening mood lift up. Oh, Tina, I'm sorry to hear that you're down. And look at, by watching this sweaty clown, I hope it cheers you up in some way. David, we know Shepard likes Johnny Cash. What music do you think Rodney likes? I think he's secretly an electronic dance music fan. And that he puts on like these kind of like disco tunes while he's working, because they're really good to work to. They're like that programming, like music to program to, like the what is it, M8 or whatever it's called, M something 8, the people who did the Oblivion soundtrack and stuff, like that's what I think he's listening to, only because that's what I listen to. Hello and love from a huge fan from London, the UK. Well, love right back at you, Spencer. Oh, London, you fabulous city. What a beautiful city. I had a tour of the Royal London Opera House, or the under the one. Yeah, I had a backstage tour of that before I left, and it was just amazing. I wish I could have stayed to see the show, but I just got to see backstage. Just amazing. I forgot how evil your character was in the Planet of the Apes, so I watched it last night. Well, evil, misunderstood, maybe. Oh Jesus, I've really got to find a better place for this. Have I just zoomed in? Oh wow, now why am I so close? Yeah, let's do this. There, that's better. Ooh, that was horrible. Um, Good afternoon, John. Oh, right, I see. We're saying hi to this. Yes, yes. Oh my God, this is ridiculous. I've got a new cable I'm using. I'm so sorry. How do I do this? There's got to be a better. I've obviously got to find a better way for this. Okay, let's look. See what I can MacGyver here. Wow, I've got so much junk here. You think there'd be something I could use to sit a damn phone in? Would that work if I do that? If I do that, and then put that like that, maybe? Would that help? See how that works? Seems like very sus already. There's that. How's that? Okay. The problem is I'm trying to scroll and hold it up at the same time. What else can I put in there? Can I put that in there just to hold that in place? How's that? Okay. All right. David, happy to catch the stream today and not just turn up at the end. Oh, good, Gordon Kefo. I'm glad you could be here. A little less tardy. Warwick, UK. That's right, RJ Walker. That's the plan. Warwickshire. That is the plan. Actually, yes, just outside of Warwick is where I would be. Hello, you wonderful man. Oh, well, I like that greeting. Ador definitely rocks by the sound of it. Someone says, I was talking about the Basingstoke Sunday meetup, LOL. Lots mentioned meeting you, and that's the one I was in cosplay. McKay, oh, good, 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 good. Hope the chain mail didn't cause you any issues at the airport on the way home. Mandy, you fabulous genius. Mandy is the brilliant chainmail designer. My son, I will have you know, has me put on that chainmail bracelet that you sent me every morning. He wears it to school now every day. He absolutely loves it. So thank you so much for that. I guess I lose it because because my son wants it, but absolutely fabulous. I've got your other one still, so I could put those on too, I guess. Mr. Hewlett, well, that sounds very polite. GBXS, hope you have a good day. I'm going to bed. Well, I am then very jealous of you because frankly, sleeping is my favorite thing to do these days. Gippy G, is Gippy G here? Did I miss Gippy G in the mix? How did I miss that? Gippy G, hey, hey, everybody! It's the fabulous Lance Carr, Gimpy G, Gimpy God Gaming. Go check him out. Make sure you're following him on all the various different socials. And I definitely have to do a catch up with him at some point soon. Having the McKay calling a MacGyver crying. It is a MacGyver. It's basically he's a verb. One day McKay will be a verb. I wonder what he'll be in McKay. Although God knows what McKay as a verb would be. Blame someone else. Yes, GPG's always got fascinating things going on, so definitely check him out. Chaos Survivor, aha! Hope you will be doing escape rooms when you come to the UK. I'd love to encourage the little ones to go. He wants to be a space scientist. Oh, well, interesting little chat that I had. Interesting. Chaos Surveyor. I had a chat with this fabulous woman who's on the board of directors for this group that works sort of adjacent to, or as well as sort of part of this private space stuff. This, I would call it space tourism. I'm not a fan of it myself, but this is a way of making it more palatable, which is basically how do we come up with great biology experiments that can be taken up as part of these space tourism things. So if some billionaires are going to the moon or Mars or whatever, what experiments could we sort of hitchhike on board with them and do some humanity some good at the same time? And I just think it's a really great idea, and I also think it's a really fun idea for figuring out stuff that the kids might be interested in. Because I feel like biology is sometimes a hard sell. It was a hard sell to me as a kid. But if you're doing biology in space, then I think there's an interesting tie-in there. So potentially, I'll have some stuff to talk about on that front. The other thing that would be really cool to do is, like, we're doing biology escape rooms right now. So the idea of doing biology, like space biology escape rooms, that could be really cool as well. So what do we got here? Studied space science at uni, and I'm passionate about supporting STEAM interests. Reach out to me on Discord if you want to. Oh, thanks very much, Ruth. That's good to know. I shall definitely do that. Interestingly interesting. That's definitely GPG. David, 3 lives in a row. Woohoo! Good for you. Oh my God. It's not that much exercise, really. like in the scheme of things, I should probably be doing much more. As my doctor would probably say, it's like, oh, well done for a 90-year-old. I should probably be doing far more exercise than I'm doing, but I'm starting small. I just want to try to get something done. I don't know how to take a day off. I'm all or nothing, and it's just I I can talk myself into maybe a day off. I guess I probably should at some point. But my fear is always that you take a day off, it's easier to take another day off. That's my, or you take a day off and then something comes up the next day, and then you've got 2 days you've just taken off. So I don't know. I just get maybe it's an anxiety, maybe it's an anxiety thing, and I should just take a pill. But anyways, my hope is to be doing something on a regular basis. This seems like the most obvious choice because I do have the torture device taking up so much room of my in my evil lair. So I just thought I should probably use it. You are making my days better. Oh, good, Janelle. I'm so glad. That's. I'm very glad. David, there's a suggestion about 3D printing in there. David, this is Rebel Time Lady. You should christen the new 3D printer by making a custom rig for your phone for streaming. That's actually a really good idea. Rebel Time Lady, that is going on the list of things to do. Mark Lapointe, get some protein powder, make some shakes. It's interesting, Mark. I love biology. I love technology. I love all this stuff. I just find reading about my health like watching paint dry. Isn't that weird? Like, I should be totally into all of this stuff. I should be body hacking. I should be, but really, I think the only way I'm ever going to lose the weight that I need to lose is probably by portion control. But portion control is the hardest freaking thing to do. The best way I found so far was daily exercise, like to get down to my debug days when I was like, I lost a lot of weight in order to play weirdly Jason Momoa's part in the movie. But when the movie became more expensive, they needed a name, and so obviously Jason would be and Jason's far better to look at than me. And it would have been a very different movie, though. But if had it been a small, tiny budget movie like I planned, it would have been me as the evil AI. And well, not so. The idea of this was actually originally that he wasn't going to be evil. But anyways, don't send me down that road. Jason was fabulous, but the process of making the movie and the people I was working with was not good. Anyways, point being, I was going to play this role, so I decided to take basic. I knew it was going to happen at some point, or I was determined it was going to happen at some point. So basically, for about almost a year, I didn't eat bread. No, I shouldn't say I didn't eat bread. I think I just counted calories for like a year, and I lost a shed load of weight. I felt really good. After a while, it just became a habit. Like I became a little obsessive, admittedly, but it just became a habit. And David Blue said something interesting to me the other day, where we were talking about quitting cigarettes, and I'd said that the only way I could do it was just to quit. Like I couldn't chew gum, I couldn't do patches or any of this kind of stuff. And I'd read an article that said that the difference between men and women when it comes to smoking is that women can cut down. Women can go from a pack to half a pack to a quarter of a pack to a couple of cigarettes to quitting, whereas men suck at that. They just suck generally at that. Again, obviously this is a generalization, but that for women it's generally better to slowly cut back, and for men it's just better to go cold turkey, which is really weird. I think it's kind of this weird like self-harm thing that males have, this sort of machismo thing or something. But for me, the only way I could do it was to quit. And I was saying that the only way I can stay off cigarettes is by saying I'm just not going to smoke a cigarette today, which is so weird. Like the thought of having a cigarette now, I mean, I love the idea of them. I don't like the headaches. I don't like what it does to your gut. I also don't like cancer, and I also don't like causing secondhand cancer because I'm smoking cigarettes. So I'm not a big fan of cigarettes. But the problem with food is you can't just not eat, right? You can't just stop eating, which in a weird way would probably be easier for me. But that just doesn't work. You end up binging, and it's just a bad way of approaching it. And David Blue said something. He said, well, you just have to approach it the same way. Like if you go and eat a pizza one night, don't get up the next morning and go, oh, I'm off the diet and you're screwed, and then just go back to your crazy eating. Go like, oh, I had a bad night. Great. And I think that's actually, as silly as it is that I hadn't thought of that, I think that's going to be really important going forward. Of course, I haven't mediated I haven't stepped into my my food at all. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to start with exercise. Give me a freaking break. I'm going to enjoy my damn food, but at least I'm going to exercise, and hopefully that'll help a bit to start. So we'll see. We'll see if I get into the food side of it as well. But isn't it weird? Like I don't. The body hacking and the food stuff is just something that for some reason I have no interest in pursuing. It's just weird. David, you popped up on YouTube. Something it is working in my favor. Happy to see you, old Stargate fan here. Hi from Germany. Well, Jana. Thank you very much for saying that and for joining us. Opal missed. Ooh, how mysterious. Doing biology in space will result in the space between us scenario if you're not careful. Oh, check that out. I don't know what that is. Again, at my Yahoo, I'm sort and respond very sorry. Oh, is Elizabeth tried to get in contact and then Gimpy G is terrible at answering his email, almost as bad as me. I've lost over 100 pounds in the last year. What? Mark Lapointe? Please tell me that's not because of some kind of horrible disease of some sort. Um, my cat passed away 2 days ago after the con, so I'm really glad you're live off. And oh, Tina, that sucks. God, pets are a pain. I can't stand my dog. Well, I say that. I love my dog to bits, but I also can't stand her. But yeah, it's when they're gone, it's freaking horrible. It's like my granny always said, it's always worse for the people left behind. So I'm sorry, Tina. I'm sure you will find many, many people here who've been through the same thing and who can come up with some very wonderful things to tell you about. But I'm sorry, that sucks. We lost Mars a couple of years ago, and I was just a mess. I still to this day I don't want another dog. I have another dog, but I don't want another dog. I want Mars. I miss my Mars bar. Anyways, so look after yourself. Don't let it get you down too much. Hot and bothered and on the up. That's my wife. My wife is having a horrible time on the subway trying to get home. Good for her though. I think honestly the train home from the subway, especially during rush hour, is just the only way to go. Um, uh, she says she's probably as sweaty as I am for my learn and burn. Maybe I should change it to learn and burn. Okay. Will do. Many thanks. I too find the whole thing fascinating. It's the late night snacking that gets you. Oh, Andy, it's it's not even the late night snacking for me. It's dinner. Like it's just dinner. I sit down for dinner and I feel like I just keep going. Um, it's the Yahoo. Was just digging out the Atlantis DVDs and up pops David on my notifications. Oh, that's cool. That tool guy. Um, um, that's interesting. I don't know how the notifications work. All I know is it's bizarre to me how many people actually watch these videos. I mean, uh, yeah, I love it. It's great for me. I enjoy. I just this is kind of a wonderful reward to me for my exercise. So, thank you for being so wonderful at the most recent con. Oh, Holly K, it was a pleasure. It was a pleasure. HGH Hewlett is going to be awesome. I keep being told abs are made in the kitchen. Exercise and pizza is so much more fun though. No kidding, Ananda. Ananda, you're so right. I just like pizza. I like pizza. Pizza's like my favorite food. You need some carbs, but be more lean, protein based. I know. I love the debug movie. Was disappointed David wasn't cast though. Oh, Saz, thank you very much. Yeah, I mean, I think I've talked about this before. I'll just briefly say it is. I mean, I can't even look at it. It drives me crazy. It was such a horrible, horrible experience for me. It jeopardized my friendship with Jason. But thankfully that has been saved, and in large part because of Jason and his big giant heart. But the whole process of making that film was a nightmare, absolute nightmare. As I say, it started off as this tiny, tiny little movie that we were going to make on the sets that we saved from Stargate, and this whole process of making films in Canada and the requirement of having these producers attached and the producers want to spend more money because they get more money themselves and all of a sudden it just you're making Final Destination in space, which is not what I planned on making, and certainly not what poor Jason planned on being in. Yeah, it was just a disaster. But I'm glad some people find some joy in it. I certainly don't. But that's also you didn't have to make it, so you get to enjoy it. I'm so glad. Thank you. Christy M. David, loved you in Stargate. Well, me too. I watched Atlantis a while ago and just finished SG1 today. Just finished SG1. You did all of them? Oh my God. Definitely my favorite shows. Well, fantastic. All right, good. Well done. No, I just stopped totally to quit cigarettes and avoid smokers. Yeah, Melissa, that's part of it too, right? Like, going to go to a bar and have a, when you could smoke in bars, going to a bar and having a beer while you're trying to quit cigarettes, forget it. That's like you know what? Just give me a pack. Recently read about metabolic confusion. They say it's the best way for losing weight and not gaining it back. Metabolic confusion. I feel that anything that involves confusion, I can do. Mad Gamer says hello, and I shall say hello back, Mad Gamer. Guys, gals, remember to like the stream if you enjoy it. Alban, Alban's doing my marketing for me. Hey, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell, and blah 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 blah. I'm not really too worried about the numbers, to be honest, but thank you. David is basically twins in acting with Robert De Niro. I wish. A mentally healthy relationship with food is so important. Yeah, Tina. Yeah, I mean, and that is something that I think a lot of our family has struggled with. I really, um, I believe that the worst thing I ever did was go on a diet. The first time I ever did a diet, I did one of these crazy LA diet called like the Fat Flush, and you drank unsweetened cranberry juice and flax seeds, and it was, oh God, it was awful, and it was incredibly strict and thoroughly miserable. But it was almost like joining a priesthood. It was just it was cult like in its approach. I lost a lot of weight doing that as well. Um, but I feel that once you start dieting, it changes your relationship to food entirely. Like I feel like I am much worse at eating because I've dieted. I felt like before I dieted, I was probably not the healthiest I could have been, but I was. No, I say that, I was doing Taekwondo like every day, like hours of Taekwondo, so I was probably pretty fit back then. But anyways, it was something that I was in a relationship, and she was doing it, and I thought I should do it as well, and it was sort of fascinating to me, this idea of like just like it was like it felt miserable, so it had to be working. I think that was part of it as well. Plan the replacement behavior, healthy meals, change habits around emotional eating, no late night eating. So hard though. Yeah, on the list. It's no kidding, huh? Jonathan Leighton Hoggett says, calculate how many calories each minute of the exercise machine uses. I did that. It's not that much. I was very surprised. I will look it up for you, Jonathan. But yeah, I was surprised. It truly, this is for fitness. This is not for weight loss, because I really believe that while it's important to do exercise while you're trying to lose weight, or I call it lifestyle. If you can find a lifestyle, like a sustainable, continual approach to food and eating, that would be fantastic without some crazy diet. I think that would be very helpful to me. Um, but that said, sometimes I just feel like, not 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 what do they call it? Cleanse. I don't know that there's any scientific stuff around. I don't think there's any sort of scientific proof around the idea of fasting. So I'm not. I don't. But there are times I just feel like it, and I think it's almost like a self harm thing. Like I just want to feel miserable and hungry and sort of empty. If that makes sense. And so sometimes I like it for that. So every so often I'll go on some crazy couple of days of eating ridiculously stupid things, uh, but it usually ends up with me like freaking out and buying 6 pounds of wings and pizza. So I like I never ever thought, well, I never thought I'd be on the internet sweaty, old, and unfit talking about my terrible eating habits, but I just never thought I would worry about food like this in the way that I not worrying about, but there is such a weirdly complex relationship to food. Like, there's guilt, there is anxiety, there is as I say, there's this almost self harm where you go like, I just want to feel like I'm on a diet. It's interesting, anyways. And I know a lot of people with real serious eating disorders. I can only imagine how terrible that would be. I mean, the idea that you could look in a mirror and you're, Karen Carpenter thin and think that you're fat is just bizarre to me. It's absolutely bizarre to me. Anyways, chat, did I just hear he's coming to the UK? I've just beaten the UK Immortal Absol. I just did Basingstoke. I'm so sorry I missed it. I switched to vaping. Still not vaping. Nerdy times. Come on. It lowered my nicotine intake extremely. Used to smoke 2 packs a day. As long as you can get off it, nerdy times. As long as you can get off the vaping stuff, maybe that is a good way to go. If that works, it works. I mean, eventually, I guess you're just smoking the vape, not the nicotine. I don't know how. I'd love to know. The issue with cigarette smoking, I think the key to cigarette smoking, like the cancerous quality, is this chemical, benzo something or another. It's a BP is its short form, and they were literally just talking about that in my learn of today in my DNA course of the great courses thing. They were actually talking about this. They were saying that how there was causation. They had a lot of they would do studies where they would study like 1,000 people, and they would and then 1,000 people who didn't smoke and 1,000 people who did smoke, and the smokers had died of lung cancer far more than the non-smokers. Then they followed like doctors, so they would literally follow smoking doctors and non-smoking doctors, and sure enough, the same thing. But there was always a way that you could say, well, maybe it's not the smoking. Maybe it's because maybe they're really stressed, and so they smoke because they're really stressed, and the stress is killing them, whatever. And I'm sure the cigarette company did a lot of that, as much seeds of doubt as they could. In fact, there's a wonderful film called Merchants of Doubt that you should check out if you want to see how amazing the cigarette company was at sort of manipulating the masses. But the point was that the only time they could truly say that there was a direct cause between cigarettes and cancer was when they caught this chemical, this BP chemical, actually mutating a section of the gene. And of course that was a chemical that was coming from the cigarettes themselves. So huzzah is good. Thank you, Tammy. And how are you, Tammy? Zah is as annoying as ever, and Tammy, you are as fabulous as ever, I'm sure. I hope things are going well. I switched to baby, yeah, right, okay. Fresh foods, adequate protein for metabolism and hunger control, avoid processed foods, and go fresh as much as possible. But Melissa, how do you do that when you hate vegetables? I hate green things. There are very few green vegetables that I like. Will I eventually start liking them if that's all I can eat? Do I put a lot of butter on them? How do I like? I hate salads unless they're doused in salad cream. I just I don't even particularly like fruit. Well, I do like fruit, but I like fruit when it's all cut up for me. I don't like having to cut it all up myself. Anyway, hugs to Tina from Gimpy G. Mandy, the Mutt Princess is a sweetie. She is. It's true. I rewatch Atlantis at least twice a year. My God, Tina. I mean, I know I'm amazing, but really, if I sit down to a meal famished, I find out later I'm overly full. Yeah, Melissa, they say what it takes half an hour to feel like you're full. If we get a dog, we're going to call it Jaffa so we can shout Cree at it. Chaos survivor. Don't get a dog. Melissa, I quit nicotine by realizing how crappy the cravings were, and giving in would keep that going. Yeah, that's part of it too. I mean, I quit drinking for a long, long time. I've sort of managed to pick it up again a bit, but I sort of I frankly just wanted a break from not drinking, which was interesting. And I just found that again, part of it was exactly that. I just didn't want to feel like I didn't want 6 o'clock to roll around and go like, oh God, I need a drink. And whether that's because you had a good day or because you had a bad day or whatever, I just didn't feel like I wanted to be controlled by that. Plus, I'm not sure what the active elements in alcohol are. I guess it's the ethanol. I suppose ethanol would probably does that make sense? The alcohol is that I'm not sure how it would work, but apparently the World Health Organization has said that alcohol is cancer causing, it's a carcinogen as well. So the fact of the matter is, they're saying like how much alcohol is good for you and how much is bad for you. Well, none. Apparently, none is the way to go. So, and then I try to tell my wife that, and she laughs at me and says she's British. I've been on Mujara. In short, oversimplified explanation, I am a different type of diabetic, but not short on insulin, and it's a low and slow killer. Our poison food industrial complex doesn't help. Yeah, I'm sure it doesn't. It's so true. David, let's face it. Watching old sci-fi is far better than watching the crap reality shows these days. That's true. That is true. But, what's funny is they're saying that there's the growth in the music industry now is in old music, not in new music, which I just thought was a sort of a fascinating, condemnation of the new music scene. Or maybe we're just, I don't know, maybe it's a TikTok thing. Maybe that's what's reviving all this old songs. But apparently, yeah, the biggest music increase in sales is in old music now, which is fascinating. Wait till you get to distribution, then it's anything but distributing the product. Then it's anything but. Wait till you get to distribution, then it's anything about distributing the product. I'm not sure where we're at. I think I missed out on that conversation. Always love Duet, The Shrine, fantastic episode, the television, brilliant acting by David. Oh, thank you very much. Soma, you're very kind. Hello from Russia. Hello. I just wanted to say the Dog's Breakfast is the best film I ever saw. Oh my God, you're the best. Thank you. I'm so glad you watched that. I love that it translates, over there. So all the best to you. What are your thoughts on more Stargate being potentially made? Well, I'd love to. I'd love that to happen. I'm waiting for the call whenever. Ryan Fuller, what are you up to these days? Any hobbies? any hobbies? let me just, how about old servers, or soldering, or 3D printing, or CNCing, or CNCing, robots, 3D printers. Yeah, I got a few hobbies. Escape rooms. I'm really enjoying my escape rooms. I should wrap up. My wife's going to be home very soon. My nerdiness saved me from smoking. I realized I'd rather spend money on games and comic books. Oh, could you imagine all of the games and comic books I could have if I didn't smoke back when I was trying to be cool? This is the problem with trying to be cool. It doesn't work. Gimpy G's, you're saying hi to everyone. You're like Mr. Party Man here. You provided much entertainment, including here now. Thank you, David. Oh, Saz, you're welcome. Weird LA diets are the worst. It's true. Elizabeth the Zed. What else we got? Rodney! Papa Bell. Destroy any good solar systems lately? Portions of. David, how many people offer you a lemon? Says, oh my God, so many people. I keep thinking, like, what if I really was deathly allergic to lemons? And they bring them to these events. It's terrible. Well, I brought the Daedalus model recently at Rebel Time Lady. My Star Trek fleet has expanded. Oh my God, great. Low fat craze made us fatter. Oh God, do you think it did? One diet my parents went on involved steak for breakfast. I like steak, but smelling cooking steak in the morning was nauseating. Opal Mist, I'm a sucker for steak and eggs in the morning, I gotta say. Always love to see the actor of the best Stargate actor streaming. Living coffee. I love it. Living coffee. That's me. I'm a living coffee. All right. I don't get hungry. I just get dizzy. I don't get hungry. I get sick. I get really sick and incredibly grumpy. Just ask anyone on Stargate. Ozempic is melting Hollywood nowadays. I know, but Ozempic just sounds like there's a lot of some horrible side effects as well. I don't know. I don't know enough about it. Fasting is actually good for you done in moderation. Elab, I don't know. I tried to find facts on that. I tried to find medical facts saying that fasting was actually good for me. I couldn't. It feels better for me once in a while, just in a weird self-torture way. But yeah. There are so many healthy foods that are so yummy, though. Like what? What freaking foods are yummy that are also healthy? Pile them on. I'm ready. But I can never find any. Food culture is so horrible in the West, particularly. Yes, it's true. You need to throw some slate around. Cardio isn't that great for long-term goals. Albin says, inspired me to pursue a computer science career, and I'm a happy engineer, drowned in computers. Oh, that's great. Oh, my God. Well, that is some fun. T. Banks, good evening to you, Mr. David Kellum. Mr. David Kellum. Oh, my God. Let's come back a ways. It's less than anything else. All right. Okay. I don't have time. I'm afraid I can't. I'm going to have to run. I'm going to say you need to get back into exercising. How else are you going to outrun Wraith? It's true. It's very true, Turbo Turtle. If you start Ozempic, you have to take it forever, I think. Really? I don't want to do that then. I feel like they give me enough pills already. I miss Gimpy almost as much as I miss the Burn&Learns. Aww. Well, we'll have to get him streaming again. Are you not, Lance? Are you not streaming at all now? Like, are you just not able to get up and running with that stuff, or is it a mouse issue? Why aren't you streaming? I just turn all the guilt on Gimpy G. See what the deal is there. Greetings from Germany. When I see you, I immediately think ZPM. Oh, good. I think you realize how great you are. Oh no, I think I do, Tina. I think I really do. Rewatch mostly for Rodney and Carson. Oh, good. Always been the real for us. Have a great day. So good to see you again, David. Oh, Tammy, lovely Tammy. Tammy's an inspiration to all of us because she not only goes back to school, she's writing amazing essays and changing the world, and yeah, it's amazing. Like Tammy can somehow make dental hygiene and dental care interesting. I had a wonderful chat with her about what she does, and I was amazed at how that's so fascinating it can actually be. Thank you for being you. Oh, you're welcome. That's really the only person I can be. So randomly scrolling through YouTube to find Rodney on a live stream. What an evening! Great to see you so well. Greetings from Cornwall, UK. Yay! I was just saying, Harry, that's my plan. Is going back to the UK. I'm gonna get myself a pig and a tractor and go off to work. Sure, that's my plan. Ever been to Australia for a con? I have, John O, and I want to come back. So find your local con and tell them McKay would like to join you, please. Greetings and love from Vienna. Oh, Vienna. Are you a ham operator? I'm not. I've been asked that a lot, Monorail. And it seems like the perfect thing for me. But there's a lot of perfect things for me. So my daily diet is I make a batch of popcorn, munching it through the day, and have a meal in the evening. I've gone size 50 to 42 in 2 years. Holy mother. I do love popcorn. I really love popcorn. Did you mean 0 point module or ZPM? I meant ZPM. How can we help you with streaming, Gimpy G? Yeah, let us know. Is there something we can do? Where is he? Is he answered yet? Deep fried Mars. Oh, come on. See? Schmisher, you're not helping. All right, everyone. I got to go see my wife. So, be brave, be kind, be brilliant. And until we geek again, I'll say cheerio and huzzah. And I don't know, see you when I see you. And I hope it's soon because that means I'll be working out. Bye.